In this video segment, I wanted to talk about an additional feature in Gravostyle that often gets overlooked, and it's called long plate. Long plate basically allows the user to create a plate that's bigger than the default engraving area of the particular machine that they're using. We run into this application with customers that basically do the bulk of their work within the normal table size or table dimensions of the machine that they're using, but occasionally have to do larger pieces than that table size will allow. We also run into this additional option in the software for customers that don't necessarily have the budget for a large table machine, and again, the bulk of their work is for a smaller size, but they have an occasional one or two jobs that they need to be able to do bigger pieces than their table will allow. So this long plate option basically allows them the capability to do that. Okay, so here I have a job programmed in based on a drawing to the specs of that particular drawing, and I'm going to go up to the machining icon to bring up the machining screen, and the software realizes that this plate size is larger than the 12-inch capability of the IS400, so it brings up the long plate definition screen first to allow me to determine where I want the separation to occur. By default, it's set at 12 inches here, which is the max on the table, which in this case happens to work great because I'm in between text lines, so there's no text going in my way here. Now I can slide this and reposition it if I need to. If I wanted to have the break between the two, say here instead, then it basically gives you that measurement, and then you would mark your material at this point at the 10.7 inches here. But in this case, it's easy for me to mark the material at a nice round even number at 12 inches. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to go ahead and bring up the machining screen. Now I did have an offset here on the y-axis for the table based on the table that we're using, and you'll see that here in the video. But at this point I can actually go ahead and preview the job just so you can see what's happening here. So this first section here is going to be the left side of our engraved plate, if you will, and then the second section up here will actually be the right hand side of the plate. Alright, now it's going to send both of these sections over to the machine at the same time, so it's one file. It's just dividing up the two sections, and the machine is actually going to pause in between those sections to allow us to move the material. So I'm going to close this out because everything looks good here, and then we can actually hit the run key or icon to send the file to the machine. So here's the IS400 set up here. Now I've got basically the 1-inch plate set up here on the Gravogrip table. You'll see the origin setting here, so I've got it basically lined up with this stop here on the table, and as we go across, you'll see I have marked the 12-inch spot with just a piece of tape. Obviously you can mark this with a marker or whatever, something that'll come off the material, but I found the tape to be fairly easy, so it's right in line with the 12 inches there. Okay, and basically we're going to run this. So I'm going to I've got the cutter set up for like 12 thousandths depth, which should be fine. This is just a gray on black plastic strip that I'm using here for the demo.
and this is the actual remote for the machine. Here's the spindle RPM control. You've got start and pause buttons here, as well as the check button and stuff. You'll see as I go to start the file, I'll hit the green start button here, and it tells me, okay, move the plate on X 0 inches. So this is just for the first plate, so we've already got it zeroed in place right now, and you'll see it'll prompt us here after that's the first section to move it to 12 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the green start button to continue, and basically it comes over the material where it's going to start engraving, and it gives me directions here on the remote. They're abbreviated, but if you want full directions, you can actually come up to the software screen here, and it actually tells you what to do here, how to set the cutter, and the steps to do that. So basically I can follow those steps in setting the cutter, but since I've already got it set, what I'm just going to go ahead and hit start to start the engraving process. Alright, so I've got the chip collector on. I'm going to hit the start button here to start the engraving. Okay, so the machine comes back home, and now it prompts me move the plate on X 12 inches. Alright, so I'm going to pick the piece up here and just slide it through and line it up right there against the tape. Set it down. Alright, and I'll go ahead and remove the tape just in case we have some engraving there. I don't remember. And I'm going to hit the start button here, and it's going to continue the rest of the job from that point. And now it's gone back home, and the job is pretty much done.